Hello and good morning, my lovely wolf pack, and welcome back to the Lone Wolf Show, brought to you by Wolfpack Media, the most entertaining place on YouTube for your news and commentary. I'm your host, Justin Huseman, founder and news contributor. We have a great show today, and I cannot wait to get started, but before we do, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with all your friends, and join the pack today. Okay, my friends, so unfortunately we have to have this conversation today, and it really comes down to just this. Everything on the internet is fake and gay. Yes, I said it. Everything is fake and gay. Now, guys, listen to me. I said this on X the other day. I think we're all living in kind of a massive psyop, like Operation Mockingbird 2.0. And everyone, including some of the most prominent commentators on the internet, is sort of falling for it. From the Israel bad people to the people with that are having a huge tizzy about the war in Iran right now, and now even prominent individuals on the right are just spewing straight out anti-Trump propaganda. And all this kind of leads us to a couple of questions here. Is MAGA fracturing, and is it an organized effort? Let's go ahead and take a look at the news here today. We have this from Politico. The number of MAGA fractures is growing. Iran is pressuring Trump's coalition. It's not the only issue. That's for sure. When Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee, her primary task was to defend President Trump's decision to launch an unpopular war with Iran. But beyond that narrow objective, the testimony from Gabbard, an ex-Democrat whose longstanding opposition to U.S. involvement in the Middle East prompted her to back Trump in 2024, carried a deeper significance, a test of whether Trump's heterodox political coalition can hold together despite its deepening divides on prominent issues. Yeah, that's kind of where I was getting at, is Republicans weren't the only ones that got Trump elected. So we have to think to ourselves that this might not be even a MAGA fracture. It's just kind of a fracturing of the coalition of disaffected liberals, independents, libertarians, stuff like that. Anyway, I'll read on. The war with Iran is stoking a fresh round of infighting within Trump's GOP, a conflict that burst into the open on when Joe Kent, one of Gabbard's former top aides, abruptly resigned from his job, citing his objections to the administration's actions in Iran. But Iran is far from the only issue dividing the Trump coalition. An X-ray of the Trump coalition, like you have any kind of insight here, Politico, but okay, reveals a multitude of hairline fractures on issues ranging from immigration to U.S.-Israeli relations to fundamental questions of American identity. With the 2026 midterms fast approaching, those divides have fueled speculation that MAGA voters might defect en masse from the GOP in November. Now, see, is it possible? Yeah, but I don't think it's very probable. But that's not the primary threat facing the Trump coalition. Recent polling suggests that self-identified MAGA Republicans are standing firmly with Trump on the war and a host of other divisive issues, underscoring the stubborn reality that, as Trump has pithily put it, MAGA is me. I mean... I don't know if I'm going to kind of push back on the president on this one a little bit. I think you're definitely the main contributor and the sort of the face of MAGA as it stands at the moment, but I would disagree with the president on that one, that MAGA is not Trump. I think that Trump is just, like, the founder, I suppose, of it. And a lot of it can be accredited to him, but I think moving forward into the future, that MAGA is going to grow into maybe something a little bit different, but probably still more of the same. I mean, what does MAGA stand for? Make America Great Again. And that is always going to be, I think, in the majority of the MAGA base, that's always going to stand firm as our main objective, is making America great once again. Anyway, I'll read on here. Yeah, several conservative commentators have recently pointed out Trump didn't win re-election in 2024 merely on the strength of MAGA voters. Exactly what I was saying before. Uh, his winning coalition paired his core MAGA constituency with a broader constellation of other non-traditional Republican constituencies. Uh, it's a hard word for me to say. Constituencies. There we go. Disillusioned Democrats and Maha Moms and Manosphere podcast bros among them. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could consider some of that like that. Some of that is core MAGA. Let's see here. It is the broader Trumpian coalition. Trumpian. Okay, okay, Politico. Let's just calm down. Let's make real words here. Rather than the core base of MAGA supporters that some Trump backers fear has been endangered by Trump's policy choices, as the conservative activist Mike Cernovich put it this week, a generational coalition squandered. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say squandered. I think from what I'm seeing, and this is just what I'm seeing from my followers, it's not like we're a huge channel here, but seeing broadly within the Wolfpack Media's following, I wouldn't agree that it's been squandered. I think we still have hardcore MAGA people that are hardcore going to back Trump moving forward, and I think there's still a significant amount of young Gen Z men that are still hardcore, always going to just ride with the MAGA coalition as it is today. But I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm gonna disagree with Mike Cernovich here. Yeah, I don't know if you would call it squandered. I think we still have some of the libertarian independent minds still working within MAGA. And I mean, as somebody who's kind of really I'm not really in a hardcore camp. I would say that I'm pretty right leaning, but I also have some libertarian views, some a little bit more classically liberal views, but I don't know. Just from what I'm seeing from our audience, I would say that that's. I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think it's been squandered. I think we can still save it here, uh, if we stop all the infighting. That's my main concern is this infighting that seems to me anyway. Like this is just my opinion. I'm not an expert, by any means. It's kind of my opinion that I think a lot of this fracturing is being done purposely and mostly for money. I think it's a money situation. A lot of these podcasters, they're running a business, and I disagree with taking that approach, but I guess I can, at a certain aspect, I can kind of respect it. Like, you are running a business, you need to make money. But at the same time, that should not be the primary motivator of people that are supposed to be like the independent news, giving people the real news that the mainstream media won't give you. But I'll go ahead and read on here. So we're gonna kind of highlight. They're kind of highlighting in this article here the war with Iran. The ongoing military operations in Iran are prompting pushback from many of the usual suspects on the anti-interventionist right. Agreed. Once again, I was never completely in on this war in the Middle East, but I kind of got like give me a break. My generation has PTSD about this, man, especially as it comes to anything going on in the Middle East. But once again, that's just my opinion. I remember the aftermath. I remember the beginning and the aftermath of the Afghanistan war, and it just wasn't good for my generation, period. But anyway, let's see, where was I? Led by figures, anti-interventionalist right, led by figures like Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and former Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, and now even Alex Jones apparently has hopped on this bandwagon. But the war has prompted some more eyebrow-raising defections as well on, let's see here, Stuart Rhodes. I'm not sure I know who that is. Founder of the far-right Oath Keepers militia, okay. Whose conviction for his role in the January 6th riots was commuted by Trump, announced that he is no longer MAGA, citing his opposition to the war. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan, the leading voice of the Trump-friendly faction within the Bro podcast, we think that Joe Rogan is a bro podcast, huh? I don't know if I'd say that, but sure. The Bro podcast sphere has said that Trump supporters feel betrayed over Iran. I just don't know if that's necessarily true. Some signs of the intra-GOP dissent are starting to show up in the polling as well, though over 90% of self-identified MAGA Republicans continue to back the war. Close to 25% of Republicans and nearly 40% of non-MAGA Republicans disapprove of it. The war polls even worse, with independents who disapprove by on an average margin of 70% to 30%. Those voters are also more likely to cite affordability as a primary concern, creating a political pitfall for the administration as the war drives up gas prices and threatens to stoke inflation. Now, I do believe that since the writing of this article, that this has kind of changed. The gas prices, anyway, I believe, have gone back down significantly with the ceasefire deal, but we'll kind of still see on that. I'm still waiting to hear what came out of peace negotiations yesterday. They were supposed to meet for negotiations, and I didn't really hear anything on that. Maybe we'll do some more research here this morning, and that'll be for our afternoon segment, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, this article was written on March 19th, so it's a little old, so this might not be updated information we're reading here. Anyway, we'll move on. So we got another fracture that they kind of cite here is the Israel and anti-Semitism. Yeah, this is the debate that I really hate getting in with people about, like, because I'm seeing it's kind of like it's being called like Israel derangement syndrome, and I'm not here for it, man. I'm not here for whatever the hell the people that are like, it is the Jews. I'm like, okay, guys, everything is not the Jews. Like, stop it right now. Yeah, I really hate getting into that conversation at all on the channel here, because I'm just like, dude, like, I just, it feels weird, you know, especially since like my entire generation and some of Gen Z as well kind of go like the fact that World War II is brought up so much in the kind of political sphere nowadays, you know, with people being called Nazis and all that shit, and so there a lot of World War II stuff gets brought up in the political landscape, and because of that, I feel really weird about going anywhere near the Israel is bad people. I'm like, it just feels weird to shit on Jews. I don't know why. Just like, I just don't want to do it. I'm not here for it. I'm not gonna be one of those raving Israel is bad. It is the Jews. You see Ireland. I'm like, oh shit, guys, no, calm down. No, we're becoming the Nazis that they're calling us, guys. Like, no, we cannot let this happen. But that's just my opinion on the whole situation, just so you guys, so our audience kind of knows where I stand on that Israel is bad thing. Anyway, we'll read what Politico has to say about it here. The war with Iran has exacerbated another debate within Trump's GOP over the U.S.'s relationship with Israel and the MAGA movement's tolerance for critiques of the Jewish state that many consider openly anti-Semitic. Now, like I said, I don't know if I'd say openly anti-Semitic. I guess it depends on who is saying the stuff, because some people have legitimate complaints, and some people are just the crazy. It is the Jews. It is always everything happens, and it's like the Jews did it, and I'm like. Some things sound a little far-fetched. There's some people that have legitimate complaints of the Israeli government, and I can listen to those people and kind of see where they're coming from. But it's the crazy, it's always Israel's fault. Like, I'm just kind of like, okay, guys, some of that stuff is like kind of far-fetched. You're finding problems where there isn't problems. But that's, once again, that's just my opinion. That's where I stand. I'm not trying to offend anybody or make anybody mad, but I really just hate this whole entire conversation. Just because of it, that's what it evolved into. It started out as like, okay, these are legitimate concerns that you're telling me about the government over there, but now it's just turned into, it's evolved into this just Jew hating weird stuff, and I'm like, okay, that now we can no longer have a conversation, and it bothers me. But that's enough of me saying anything about that. I'll just keep reading. Since the start of the war, some opponents on the right have argued that Trump was drawn into the war at the behest of Israel, which that's another thing that I find completely ridiculous about it. I'm like, you guys really think that anybody tells Donald J. Trump what to do? He doesn't strike me as the personality that is going to be told what to do by anybody for any reason. And that's, once again, just my opinion. What do I know? Tapping into the long-standing belief in some corners of the right that Israel and the pro-Israel lobby in the U.S. exert malign influence over the GOP's exert malign influence over the GOP's, I don't know how to read today, for foreign policy. In his resignation letter from OD and I, for instance, Kent argued that the U.S. started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby, not because it served vital American interests. Now, see, that's where I believe, like, not the Trump takes orders from Israel. You'll never get me to listen to anything regarded to that, because once again, he just does not have the personality type. You're not telling that man what to do, ever. But now the criticism here over Israel and the AIPAC, I have some criticisms over AIPAC that I do believe is a legitimate concern that some of these people have. But once again, if it starts to get kind of muddled when you go through comments on the internet about it, where you're just like, okay, guys, like, can we just not? Anyway, meanwhile, some pro-Israeli conservatives have argued that these criticisms of the war are part of a broader campaign to force Jewish conservatives out of the MAGA coalition by inflaming anti-Semitic sentiment among the Republican base. Now, see, I think that's a legitimate concern as well. I also, like, I'm kind of, like, on the fence when it comes to this stuff. It's like, those are a little bit, like, both sides of this kind of have legitimate concerns, but I think it's the crazies on the internet that are just screaming Israel bad, like that's where it kind of gets muddled, where it goes from legitimate concern, legitimate critiques, to, okay, bro, you're just fucking nuts and being openly anti, like, a Jew, bro. that's when you lose me. That's when I'm jumping off that wagon. Anyway, inflaming anti-Semitic sentiment among the Republican base. Indeed, the debate over the war does appear to have further elevated openly anti-Semitic figures on the right, including the white nationalist commentator Nick Fuentes. White nationalist, okay. And the anti-Israel podcaster Candace Owens. Both of their podcasts have usurped up the charts in recent weeks, which I also think that is also an organized effort on social media's part in that. But once again, when do I know? Okay, so we got immigration too, is one of these fractures. And really, now I don't know about that. I guess we'll read here. The administration's aggressive approach to immigration enforcement came to a head in Minneapolis earlier this year when federal agents shot and killed two U.S. citizens. The ensuing backlash has forced the administration to recalibrate its approach, with the White House opting for a change in leadership at the Department of Homeland Security and quietly backing away from some of its more aggressive messaging around mass deportations. Yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, no, I don't think Trump goes hard enough in the paint on the mass deportations. I think he needs to be. We need to not do that. We need to not pull back. We need to, like a bull in a china shop with that shit. Like, just fucking get it done. I don't care by what means. I don't give a shit. Get it done. Get them out of here. Get them the fuck out of here. But anyway, we'll see what they're saying, I guess. Yeah, the administration's softening of its approach to its immigration agenda has not landed well with all members of the coalition. Like me. It's not landing well for me. The PR game, I'm tired of the stupid fucking PR game. I don't give a shit about PR. Feeling a deepening fracture between immigration hawks and Trump's political operation ahead of the midterms. Last week, a group of anti-immigration groups launched a new coalition to pressure the administration to stay the course, warning that the president risks further alienating his base if he abandons his promise to deport millions of unauthorized immigrants. You mean illegal aliens? I fixed it there for you, Politico. And I do kind of agree with that, though. That, yeah, pulling back on, like, don't do that, Trump. Don't do that. Pulling back on that will further divide, like, actual, real, regular American citizen MAGA people. I guarantee you that will mess with MAGA for sure. Meanwhile, the administration is under pressure from allied business leaders and Republican lawmakers who are warning that more aggressive immigration enforcement could harm key industries and turn off important swaths of voters in the fall. I don't care, including Hispanic voters. I don't care. I don't care. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Get them out of here by any means necessary, is what I say. All right, I'll scroll a little bit past here. The Epstein files. This has been a giant contention here on the right, that's for sure. Mostly, I'm seeing mostly in libertarian, like, leaning people. Maybe not so much staunch Republicans. Although it's been subsumed somewhat in the headlines by the debate around the war in Iran, the split over the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein files continues to roil Trump's coalition, fueled by lingering anger at the administration for reneging on this. Okay, on its promise to swiftly release all government documents related to the Epstein case. And a sign that the issue is not likely to disappear from the Republicans' radar anytime soon, House Oversight Chair James Comer this week subpoenaed Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify about the files before the committee, a move that came after 6 Republicans joined Democrats in backing a motion to call Bondi to testify. Yeah, Bondi, now that she's like out, like she's gonna have a lot to answer for here, and I hope she does. This is once again where I can kind of agree with the assessment here. The Epstein scandal is also shaping up to play a major role. The high-profile Republican congressional primary in Kentucky, where Representative Thomas Massie, who has led the charge on Capitol Hill to compel the administration to release more of the files, is facing a Trump-backed primary challenger. I don't like that fight either, because I really liked Thomas Massie. So, that's hard. That's a hard one for me to really have an opinion on. Let's see here. We got MAGA, the alliance between... Now, see, I think we're all good on MAGA. I'm going to kind of skip that one, even though I'm kind of curious on what they have to say. Artificial intelligence, that's another big one I've been hearing. More under-the-radar debate. Yeah, it's kind of under the radar, but is shaping up within the GOP over MAGA's approach to artificial intelligence. As Politico magazine recently reported, to date, the Trump administration has taken a relatively hands-off and industry-friendly approach to AI, signing a controversial executive order preempting state-level AI regulations and building close political connections to major AI companies. Now, this is another one, like they said, that's kind of been flying under the radar, and I'm scared of that, dude. I've watched Terminator too many times. I'm scared of any fucking crazy AI shit. I wish we would kind of slow down on all that, but I'm gonna kind of roll through this a little bit. Gender politics and sexism, huh? I don't think we're split on that. I don't know if I believe you on that. Some of these I'm just like, okay, Politico is pretty left leaning, so I don't know if I believe a lot of these splits where they're saying, but there's a couple that I agree with them here on. American identity. This is the one I wanted to wanted to read into here because I'm curious. Underlying many of these fault lines within the right is more basic philosophical debate. What is the basis of American identity and who counts as a true American? Some on the right, like Fuentes and his Groifer followers, I love how they're using the word Groifer, have embraced an explicitly racialist, is that what it says? Yeah, racialist definition of Americanness rooted in white Christian identity. Shut the fuck up. Okay, that's about what I thought it was. I'm gonna just keep scrolling here, and we're running a little low on time. I want to finish this up. So yeah, we'll kind of skim through some of that. Echoed some of its core tenets, including the rejection of a credible definition of America as a nation grounded in shared principles. Yeah, I mean, that idea has met resistance among some conservatives, though, who are moving to reassert America's credible foundations. Writing in the New York Times in December, former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, now running for governor in Ohio, critiqued the rising tide of blood and soil nationalism on the right, comparing it to the Democratic Party's embrace of woke excess in the run-up to the 2024 election. If the post-Trump GOP makes the same mistake with our own identitarian fringe, he wrote, we will meet a similar fate. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I straight up just do not believe and refuse to believe that there's like an organic fracture. I think that this is being done on purpose by who, I don't know. You call it the deep state, the mysterious they are out there in the background. But we're out of time, guys, so we'll go ahead and let you go there. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video. And you can follow us on X and Facebook and all the other places at Wolfpack Media 92. And yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments. I really, especially if you consider yourself MAGA, I'd really like to kind of pick your guys' thoughts, our audience. I'd like to know what you guys think about this whole MAGA fracture. Anyway, we'll go ahead and let you guys go there, and we will see you guys probably later on in another segment in the afternoon today. So we will see you all there. Peace.